You have to remember that when you're a star, what you do and how you look is defined how you are on camera. And so no matter which way you look at it, they've still had to work hard in getting to a certain level, right? They may have the capacity and funds where other people to help them, but they've still had to do it themselves. The fortunate thing about that is they do have lots of people like myself and lots of other people to help them guide them to what is a healthy and what is a sustainable way of doing it. It's about listening to your own body and not judging what your body looks like comparative to someone else. So it's about identifying what sort of food plans work for you, what type of exercise works for you in the moment of time that you're in right now, and what positive lifestyle habits and what positive recovery habits will help you in the long run. I think everyone has self-doubt. But what you have to do is you have to trust in the process. And too many people will start something for a short term, it doesn't work, then they'll jump onto the next thing. So they'll start one sort of eating regime, jump onto the next one. They'll exercise this way, then they'll go to another way. It's about thinking of your journey, what you're currently doing, as a marathon rather than a race. And sometimes it just takes time for your body to change. Sometimes it takes habits to change. And sometimes the way you are has developed from other things that happened in your life that you just don't realize it when you were younger. You may develop bad eating habits. You may have developed bad sleeping habits or poor connection to exercise. So it's all about coming back to yourself. I think the 4 pillars are really important. And a lot of people only focus on one of those pillars. So my 4 pillars are, the first one is movement. So I purposely don't call it exercise, because when people think of exercise, it's possibly going to a gym, going for a run, but I think about movement. Now, movement is anything that makes your body feel better. So it could be lifting weights, it could be yoga, it could be anything, and it's something that invigorates your body. The second part that's really important is your nutrition. So I purposely don't call it a diet, because everyone has a diet out there, but it's finding a nutrition plan that works for you. Whether it is a time when you're stressed out, is a time when you need to perform, it's finding a nutrition plan that works for you. And the third one is recovery. So recovery is really important because that's when your body heals. It's when you get fitter, happier, and healthier. So having good recovery elements are really important. So the recovery elements can be 2 things. They could be active, so that could be going to do a yoga class, going for a walk, or they could be passive. So passive recovery elements could be going for like a cryo, a sauna, massage, or even a beauty treatment. So those things will help make your body better, but also make you emotionally feel a lot better because you're giving something back to your body by resting. And the last part is, I think the most important part, is your lifestyle habits. Those are the habits that are going to make you get up early in the morning to do your exercise. Being able to feel recovered enough so you could go out Friday night or Saturday night with your friends, or being resilient enough after you've had a long day of work and you have to go home and deal with the stress of auditions. I think it's the lifestyle habits that are really important that brings all of those other 3 elements together. Because it's not a diet, it's not an exercise plan, it's not a yoga session, it's not a recovery, it's a lifestyle. There's an old analogy that people think they should do more. If they train harder, eat less, or whatever thing they're doing, they will get better. But it's actually the other way. When you recover, you actually allow your body to rest. So if you have a very stressful job, if you have a very busy family life, and then you add exercise on top of that, that just means more stress to your body. It's like burning the candle at both ends. So by taking a little step away from that and allowing your body to recover is sort of the key to my client success. And that little key can be just daily. It could be focused on breathing before going to bed. It could be doing some daily stretches when you wake up. It could be each week setting up a time where you do some meditation. I like to get my clients to every second week is they do some sort of passive treatment. So that could be a massage or it could be a beauty treatment. There are various ways to allow your body to relax. The first thing that I tell all models or people who travel a lot is that there is never a bad time to exercise. Any time is a good time to exercise. So what I tell people is you need to have a set of exercises a set of stretches, and a set of recovery moves that allow you to do it in the comfort of your hotel room. You should be able to stand in a box and do these 5 moves, or 4 moves, whatever they are. When you're feeling anxious or a bit stressed out, one of the best things you can do is you could stretch or breathe. So it's about finding time in your busy schedule to do something. So by committing 5 to 10 minutes a day of doing something that it's only going to benefit the show, the activity that you have to do. So the reason why I like postural exercise is when you're traveling and you are on a plane for a long period of time, or you have to present or perform in front of someone, reprogram your body to having better posture is always a way to improve your mood, but also improves your appearance, which is great for when you're on the catwalk or at a shoot. But also the recovery part of just focusing on a bit of breathing allows the tension to be back down to yourself and allows your whole body and your stress hormones to relax. When you think about working out and diets, they go hand in hand. There is the analogy you cannot out-train a bad diet. But I also think, though, that what you eat has to be towards your health and fitness goals. So what I tell people, if you have an event, a show, and you need to look amazing, which I know we need to do all the time, but for a specific event, it's okay to be a bit more focused on your exercise and eating. But when you come off it, you need to reevaluate to make sure that you're giving your body the right type of love it needs. So that means the right type of foods and the right type of exercise. What people get in this cycle is they will always think of restriction. Restrict, restrict, restrict. And you can't do that for your whole life. So it's about thinking when you need to have time off, you can focus on a different type of eating and a different type of exercise. But in high levels of stress and high levels of travel, you might have a different exercise or different nutrition approach. So as like the seasons, your body and your diet and your exercise have to go with the flow of where you are. Over-exercising and under-eating is a very key thing in my industry. What I think people should know is that you have to be very conscious of the amount of exercise you're doing. Going to a HIIT class or going to lift weights 4 or 5 times a week, coupled with a busy travel schedule, coupled with a terrible or a crazy relationship, adds more stress to the body. And so your body will only go so far till it breaks down. And what do I mean by breaking down? A, you might not get your results. So A, you might be physically exhausted. B, you'll show up to a shoot or to an event and you won't feel or look as good. Or the worst part is C, you'll just get sick. You'll get adrenal fatigue. There'll be lots of things that can happen to you. And so if you think of exercise as the way of getting you where you need to go, it's only one part of the equation. And that's the same thing if you don't eat or restrict foods all the time. That's not a really healthy and sustainable way for you to have longevity in your lifestyle and a longevity in a career. The Be Well Collective is really important because I think it's about trust. And you have a group of experts who are leaders in their own field. And what I love about this group is that everyone's passionate in their own sector for health, but they have a sector that can resonate with everyone else. So yes, mine is about exercise, but we talked about today about nutrition, about recovery. I'm sure everyone has something to give, but when you bring it under one roof, you have all these experts trying to educate people about the same. When we boil it down to what it is, it's about making everyone a happier individual. I come at from an exercise, someone comes at from a nutrition, someone comes from a mental health, but we're all talking about the same thing. And the Be Well Collective is a non-profit organization, so any donations would be greatly appreciated.